Are you ready? Okay. Okay, it's 3:30, July 15, and this is the Keene Economic Development Corporation meeting. I call it to order. I have no remarks, so we'll go on to the city administration remarks. That's the next thing on the agenda, number 3.
I guess that's me.
Okay.
Good afternoon, board. Thanks for being here. Some good news, the RSK Trucking Company, which is a semi-truck trailer paint body shop, completed all their final inspections. I'll be giving them their CO either later today or first thing in the morning, which is right across from the high school, next to Seminars Unlimited. It's kind of back in the woods. It's hard to see from the street, but
If you're looking for it, you can see.
back there. Yes, yes. We already have 20 homes submitted, plans submitted to be built at Sunset Ridge. So we're just kind of finishing up on the punch list of the final walkthrough we did last week or 2 weeks ago. Once we get those completed and make sure all the bonds and everything's in place, then they'll be able to start building homes over there once those plan reviews come back, but they're trying to get ahead of the game. We're close to 50 homes already over in the canyons, 70, close to 75 over at Ashton Home Place. So things are moving along.
Okay. Okay, public comments. Do we have any public comments? Nobody turned any cards in? Okay. We'll go on to item number 6 as we don't have a public hearing. Number 6A, review, discuss, and consider the minutes of the regular Keene Economic Development Corporation Type B board meeting held on June 17, 2025. Have y'all had a chance to look at those?
Yes.
And is there a motion to accept?
I'll make a motion to accept as is.
And a second? All in favor? Okay, unanimous, thank you. 6B, review, discuss, and take possible action on quotes for light installations at the pickleball courts. I suppose Mr. Martin will be talking about this? No?
Yeah, this is, we tag team on a lot of
Y'all need to sit
things.
next to each other. My head is spinning.
Yeah, so, we moved forward with the fence. We got that PO out for the divide through it, so that's in the works. Also, the marquee. So I know I'm not supposed to be talking about this, Holly, but it all kind of centers around some of the conversations we had at the beginning. So Carrie was very instrumental. Donnie gave me kind of a great initial contact with Carl Conrad, and he kind of, as you remember, I kind of told you roughly, and then we came back. And so we have 3. Carrie reached out to, did we get 3 back, Carrie?
2.
We got 2 back. One was a no bid. And so TexCon, that is Carl Conrad, correct, Carrie? Yeah, that's Carl Conrad, and I guess he's known in the community. And then the other one is Duggar Electric, which I don't really know who this person is. You know them as well?
Johnson
Okay.
County, a long time.
Okay, so anyway, so you can kind of see there's 2 bids out of the 3, and there's kind of the 2 prices there. So it's just a matter of who do you feel comfortable with going with, and are you good with us pulling the trigger to get that project done?
Well, there's... Yes.
Yeah, there's one that was declined. Looking at the materials that they're going to use, basically they're using the same materials, it looks like, as far as the poles and the bullhorns and stuff. All that seems like it's pretty even.
So that's quite a spread price-wise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I know, sometimes I used to feel this way when I was out in the public sector. You know, I would go up against, try to get government bids on jobs, and it was always really frustrating because it was always kind of low bid, you know, so I can understand why some people don't want to provide a bid because they feel like, you know, their product's cheapened by just having to be the cheapest. So I think that's probably why some people didn't want to respond with a
Well,
bid.
this wasn't like a closed bid process or anything, was it?
No, this is just us doing our due diligence.
And I noticed the one company doesn't give us any of the details that Duggar gives us.
He did. It was in an email, though.
I see. And so you just didn't provide it here?
Yeah, it's not on
For
the
us?
actual bid sheet. Right, Carrie?
It's just what we have? So are we really ready to make a decision based on the fact that we don't have his final bid?
Which one was that again? Okay. Mm-hmm.
25,350.
It looks like there's 4 different quotes for Duggar,
4 different quotes?
right? 'Cause you got quote 1, 2.
No.
Oh, I
Service
see.
is
I
the
got you. I
next
got
one.
you. I didn't see Putnam.
3. And they said they would have to use these wooden poles so that,
Correct.
Put them out
I
of
didn't
it?
want to go with those.
No.
Same wooden poles, one of them more decorative.
You know, I checked in the Better Business Bureau, and I don't see any marks on really any of them, of those two. You know, they're pretty clean. But, you know, of course, you look at the reviews, and I think Duggar's ahead of them as far as reviews from, you know, from people that they've done work for.
I move we go with Duggar Electric.
I second it.
Yeah.
okay? All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, it passes unanimously.
All right, we'll get that project going.
Yay, good.
Oh, and we forgot to tell them, Don, about the irrigation, too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
We've been busy.
you've been busy getting lots
The
done.
drainage ditch that we had and drainage irrigation that we had put in between the ball fields is all completed.
Wow.
Good.
Now we can start, probably get with Public Works once it dries out a little bit and they get caught up on some stuff. Get over there and tear out the infield on field number 1, which has been closed for going on 2 years now because it's a hazard. Get that dug out, put a French drain around it, you know, get it built back nicely,
Wow.
so.
Wouldn't you know, though, we'd have a rainy season that we
Right.
never have.
It's a good time for it, though.
Yeah,
Get it
we can
tested.
see how well it works. Well, very good. Okay, item C, review, discuss, and consider approval of the Keene Economic Development Corporation Type B Board budget for the fiscal year 2025-2026.
So we did kind of talk about it last meeting and took all your notes. Hopefully we got it all right and put it all together, and there it is in front of you. You want to go through it line by line, or were we able to get the clear view? Oh, she's working on something.
Trying to put it up there?
You know, just probably walk us through each, what am I trying to say? Each heading.
So
Okay, my
I thought it might be a good time.
screen
to
just went away.
just kind of, it'll hopefully come back here in just a minute. So just to kind of, we educated kind of the council with these budget workshops and things. I feel like in the past, the accounting has been more of just a checklist, let's get it done, versus your accounting and the finance is what tells the story of your business. And so if it's not used properly, it's not going to reflect the story properly. So you'll have to forgive us, and we are a little disheveled. We normally like to walk through what we're going to go over, and we're busy with budget and, all kinds of fun things right now. So what we didn't have the time to necessarily invest in the A and B board, but our plan is to really kind of revamp this as well, to where it's broken out kind of separately, so that we can present the same way we do to council, so that, we treat this like a small business and it's, we're reporting the proper information. So I don't know if you had the chance to see council, but the other most important thing with the business is understanding who your customers are, who's buying your product, and in our case, who lives inside of our city. And so, what we found out was 20% of our citizens are below poverty level. Oh, is it there? Oh, okay. All right. I'm sorry. I thought I was just going to wing it, so I don't have to. So the nice thing about doing it this way is every year, if we manage the business properly, then this is a great baseline of where we are and where we're trying to get to, right? So if the more that we help our citizens, the better these statistics will portray. So, you can see the 19%, or what is that, 18%?
8%.
8%.
Which one are you looking at?
Sorry, I'm on a different slide in my head. You'll kind of see, these are the kind of the demographics, kind of broken out by age, family, couples, singles, and our biggest population is actually, that's moving into this community, is our young couples. I shouldn't say young, but when you see that couple without kids, that just kind of is, you assume it's going to be kind of younger or middle age. And so these are the people that, they need the jobs. Everybody needs the jobs, but the more we can do from the aspect of economic development, the more we can keep people inside of our community. And so anyway, so this is year-over-year comparison. You can see our population, didn't go up that much based on the statistic, but the growth is coming. And judging by the types of homes that we're building and those types of things, you can be sure that it's going to be families and couples that are going to be moving into this community. This is a slide that in my head we were in. So this is also a year-over-year comparison. You'll see that 23% of our citizens are below poverty level. So every dollar does matter to these individuals. And we hear a lot of council members and people running on, we're going to lower taxes. I'm all for that. But you have to replace that revenue, right? And so, and we'll get to the revenue here in just a minute. But the other thing is that 50%, our median income in this city is $50,000. That is 33% below, which that number would mean around $73,000 is the median income outside of our community. So, and then of course over 200,000 median or income is, 3%. So, any questions on that slide so far? All right. Do we have the revenue one? Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I think when I was a kid and I was being raised, it was thumped into my head that money is the root of all evil. And the word that my family would leave out is the love of money is the root of all evil. But they always had a tendency to leave out that word love. So I think sometimes when we talk about revenue and we need to be a more revenue-driven city, I think what people hear in their head is we need to ask more from the people that are already giving. And that is not what I'm saying. Right. So to give you an example, our city accounts, the sales tax accounts for 11% of our revenue. Our fire station brings in 11.5%. An average city our size brings in 30%. if we can bring in 30% of sales tax revenue, that's an extra $1.5 million, okay? So I'm all for, let's have a plan to try to bring down the taxes, but the A and the B, now, not so much the B board, you guys are quality of life, so we need to focus on the quality of life, but especially with the A board, we need to really figure out how do we get these 30,000 cars that drive through our city a day to stop and spend their money, okay? Or just stop.
Yeah.
So, and hopefully stop and live here. You know, because the town I know and love that I moved here back in '97 is still the same town. It's full of wonderful people. We just need to get that message out, which is part of the plan with some of the stuff in this budget as far as marketing incentives and tools and things to help, you know, fund things that will get that message out. So anyway, we just thought it was important as a group, especially Mira. Our finance department has been doing great things, actually, again, setting up the accounting the way it should be from a business. When I say should be, how I think it should be. You know, there's lots of different ways to skin a cat, but how we believe the numbers should tell the story so that we can actually make better informed decisions as we manage the future. So anyway, I know that's a little bit of a sidearm, but we thought it was important is if you have questions here to understand that the things that we're doing in this budget is to try to advance the city and what the citizens need.
How can we generate that revenue, tax revenue? I think is we have to add more businesses, and nobody wants to hear it, and I don't drink, don't get me wrong. When you bring liquor into it, you got 3 smoke shops here. I mean, it kind of seems that we're cutting our nose off in spite of our face, you know. I don't know. This is just me thinking out loud. And I think you would get businesses like, I don't know, QT maybe, you know, if they could sell beer or wine or whatever. And I understand the mindset that's been here for a long time, and I understand that, you know. I don't drink, I won't drink, you know, but we got to do something.
Well, I don't want us to get, I'm not getting glared at yet, but we need to make sure we don't go down that rabbit trail because we have to stick to what's on the agenda.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, it's easy to do, and I'm guilty of it too, so, yeah, you are right,
Sorry,
sir, and these are all the things that we're going to continue to tackle, but today, this is just a little background of the people that we serve, and so as we're making decisions for things that we think will better their lives and experiences within our city, I think it's important we keep that in mind.
That's true, Jimmy. What you said is true, but it is what it is, and there's been 2 votes on it already that
Right. That's understood.
overwhelmingly defeated, but I think not too long in the future, if you had another one, it'd probably pass.
Yeah. I mean, you know.
Our town's changing. The town's changing.
Yes, sir.
Well, you know, we're quality of life, but that also attracts people to want to stop. I mean, we look at all the traffic here on 2280, Old Bitsy Road, and we have our pickleball court, we have, you know, the park is getting spiffed up. You know, we need a few more things along the route for them to stop at, because when I look at all of that traffic, I think we need more things to attract them to stop. That helps our sales tax also.
That's what I'm saying. You may not be directly related to sales tax, but what we do here helps people stop and want to be a part of this community.
And I think like our flags and just, we put up a sign that we're going to have a Christmas market. We put up a sign that we're going to have a 4th of July parade. That helps them come there too. And then, you know, they may buy some of the things that we have to offer. And so maybe we need to spiff up some of those programs a little bit too and give them more to stop for.
Yeah. Well, we did increase those line items based on the last meeting, so
Yeah.
so hopefully kind of seeing this and hearing it will make you feel good about, again, what we're trying to do.
So are you guys going to present this section by section?
If you like, we
Or
can do
just
that.
hit on the things where we've made changes?
Right.
Show us that we get our changes we asked for?
I'm trying to look at this ClearGov that we have on the screen here, and I'm not sure.
Well, my
was
screen
that?
keeps going in and out. It's
Last
gone
year
on.
was 354, and this year's 363 for revenue. Is that correct, Mara?
How much?
They can't hear if they're watching.
So really the reason this software is on your screen is I don't think it's necessary to go line by line. It's really up there. So just, again, so you can understand, in the past, it was always the finance and the city manager that input everything. It was the finance, and the way we're kind of switching it up is we're putting the control into our director's hands so they can tell us what the needs are. And then that way we're not duplicating work multiple times. And then we can sit down and we analyze, you know, kind of what the data that was input. So this is more the informational tool that allows us, you know, if you have a question on a line item, we can go into it and we have notes and we can tell you.
So the revenue is basically made out of 3 different lines. The first one is the sales tax, which is the 25 cents for every dollar that we budgeted for the total budget for 25-26. So that's $340,000. And the next line is the interest income. It's based on what we have currently and projecting. I just want to give a shout out, say thank you for Carrie Warwick and Jonathan Seitz. They went and negotiated with Pinnacle Bank, and they were able to secure 4% interest as opposed to right now 3.8. So good job, guys. And that the interest there, I want to say that 12,000. I can't really see. 12,000 is based on that number. Also, I put in the miscellaneous revenue. I believe that's 2,000. That's just for the ball field. So yes, a total of 354,000.
But we project to spend 377?
No, 322.
That's total, grand total expenditures with capital expenditures, 377.
No, that's 577. So,
Oh.
so your revenue,
Five.
you actually have your revenue is estimated 364,000. Your actual expenses are 322,000 which leaves a 41,000 surplus. But when you add in those capital expenditures that we kind of talked about last meeting, then obviously we would have to pull from reserves and the extra, which would leave a deficit of 213,000, but it's not really a deficit. It's just dipping into the money we've been
Money
storing
market.
away for a while.
And what do we have in the bank?
600.
609,000.
And plus, we haven't sold this property yet, which
Right.
comes to us too, doesn't it?
Correct.
Yes. I move we approve the budget.
Is there a second?
Well, I know we
Want to
talked about
discuss
adding
more?
the skate park to one of the capital expenditures, and that's not on there.
That, I think we saw that as we have to get a lot, right now we just have to approve a budget, right? And you're still going to have excess revenue. That's something that's going to take a little bit of time that, I'll be real honest, we just don't have right now. I think that's something that we have to get pricing back. We have to, go through that whole process. And right now, we have to approve this based on government regulations, state regulations, like now. So
So
we're not
would you
saying-
have to table
we're
the
not
park?
saying no to it, we're just saying that's gonna take a lot more kind of research and stuff right now.
Correct. I thought whenever we discussed it last month that we were going to add it that way. If we get all that information, we're able to actually move forward with it this upcoming year. So if we don't have it earmarked within the capital expenditure, then we're not able to actually proceed with it, is what
You
my
can-
understanding was.
You can still proceed with projects, just like we're doing, this light project right now wasn't in the budget. That's just something that we talked about and now we're moving forward with. So I think that's kind of where this skate park project is. So it's not a, no, we can't do this next year. It's just right now, we're under a lot of tight timelines that we're trying to get done that keep us in compliance. Am I right on this?
I thought we added some, in that discussion, we just bumped those up a bunch on the capital projects so that we could move forward with some of them.
See, that's what I thought, because the sidewalk, it looks like that was bumped up to 200,000,
Yeah.
that was-
and that was part of that whole.
But we won't get all those done next year,
Correct, yeah.
but we can start on them.
Yeah, I just didn't want it to kind of get pushed off and then, it start next year with next year's budget and then be told that we can't move forward with it because it wasn't put in as a capital expenditure. I just don't want to have any red tape that will prevent us from actually moving forward with it next year.
No, there's nothing that prevents it. And then the main reason I didn't put it in there was because if I put that 300 in there, that would pretty much wipe out everything you guys have in savings. There would be nothing for any other projects. And I don't feel that the public would appreciate that based on the survey we did on Facebook and those other surveys we did. The skate park was way at the bottom.
And we discussed
these
why that was, you're looking at the demographic that it's not even targeted to. They're not on Facebook.
That's fine, but the people that do go to social media, so what we can do is, again, it's not saying that that project's dead. It's just, I didn't feel it was right to put it in the budget and saying, hey, that's gonna wipe out all of our money. We have nothing left, even with the sale of the land.
But I thought as a board, we agreed. I don't think it's right that you could sit there and say because you don't
I
feel.
don't think that was actually, it was discussed that, yes, that's what you wanted.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Gary, I think we all agree that we wanted to move forward with that.
Well, here's the thing, if the board right now wants to, and again, I don't know, because this is why I have Holly but if you want to add it, and again, you want to move forward without doing more due diligence, then I think that's the prerogative of you all, so that we can add it to lock it down. But, again, I didn't think it was an official, I thought we all thought it was a good idea and we should move towards it, but I got the feeling it wasn't yes, let's earmark $400,000 for this, because at that point, we haven't even talked to anybody.
I know that Don's been challenged with, getting those quotes for the last 2 years, and so,
For a
we've been
skate
talking.
park?
Yes.
Oh, well,
Or for any of our projects.
Yeah. So for the last 2 years since I've been on the board, it was discussed when Chuck was still on the board. And so we talked about it for the last 2 years, which is why I started reaching out to that other company, because we were getting absolutely nowhere with it.
okay, well, that
not
honestly, the last
entirely
meeting was the first time
correct.
I'd ever heard the skate park idea.
I did come back to you with bids from one company.
One company.
Right.
Yeah. And so,
How much was that?
It depended on the size.
yeah. And we were looking at the same equivalent.
And built in stages, say, 100,000 for concrete and 70,000 for a small skate park that you could add on to and change.
That was without the concrete, though.
Well, it was an item in our budget, and in our discussion last time. And it says right here in the minutes, the board directed staff to add a line item to the fiscal year 2026 budget for the project.
Okay, well then let's add
And
it.
for city administration to reach out. And what has happened to us in the past, just to be blunt, is that we've talked about a lot of things, and we've been told that we can make an adjustment or a change to our budget, but that's much more difficult to get through with city council after the fact. So if we have it here now, they start that discussion now, and if they want to nix it now, but I do think that our survey, and this is me speaking as a board member, our survey is questionable because the demographic that it reached was not the demographic that is going to give us the feedback on that particular project. So we need to find another way. And we can always not do it, but it seems to me like it's harder to do it. I don't know. I'm just
No, I
expressing
agree.
Okay.
I agree completely.
if it's not in the budget. And as far as wiping out our money, that's another 400,000, but we still have 600,000 in our money market. Am I adding these
Well,
numbers wrong?
No.
If you take everything
If we
that's
take
on
the-
there and you add 400,000, you're gonna be at 977,000, which would take the entire amount plus the amount
Okay,
when the land
okay.
sells. So I think
I knew I
that's
wasn't
kind
adding
of the
right,
concern.
but-
So, but again, this is your show. So if you want us to say, yes, we'll approve the budget with adding an additional capital expenditure we can do that.
Because like Cheryl said, we could always not do it, postpone it a year, but at least get it on there. So if we are able to move forward, get that feedback, get those bids, then we actually have it earmarked to where we can proceed rather than hitting that brick wall to where, council decides, hey, you guys didn't ask for it, you guys didn't add it to the expense, so we're not going to allow you guys to spend that money.
And they
Yeah.
may still nix it. I mean,
I'm with you. I mean, there's certain accounts that you want the money to stay there, rainy day fund, those types of things, but there's other accounts that you would rather see them being put to good use, so.
Okay, Mr. Heinrich?
I think that what we did to the budget is we did add some money to it so that we could begin this process. We didn't add enough money to do it because we don't know how much money it's really going to take in its finality. So, but I think there's going to be money here for many projects that we want to put there to start on and see where they go, You're gonna spend, 400,000 maybe? That's a lot of money for something, I don't know how much interaction you really get out of a skate park. I probably won't be visiting it myself, but,
Nor will I.
I don't know how much you get out of that. I don't know how much the college gets out of theirs. Do those kids use that a lot?
Yes, quite a bit.
They do. Because I know our basketball courts have been very busy all along, and the pickleball courts are picking up. In fact, I went by there the other night, and they were still going
As long
at
as
it.
there was light.
Bunch of people in a pickle, I think. But I think that what we should do is, personally, I'd continue with the budget as it is, but I think we put money in there to begin the process. We're gonna look for grants, it says.
No, the grant that we discussed was $25,000, and I passed that information along to Jonathan.
But anything we can get would be beneficial.
Correct, yeah, but, like we discussed last time, we did talk about adding a line for it and putting a certain amount into it. I agree with Cheryl, and I think we should proceed like that. If we earmark the money, doesn't mean we necessarily have to use it at that point.
Right.
But at least we're able to move forward with the project and getting the bids and, continuing to look for grants to where we could save the taxpayers money.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll follow your lead.
So can we just vote can you make the motion to add up to a certain amount of money?
That's what we did last month.
You can, but we already have a motion on the floor that if there's no second, it can die or it
Oh.
be voted on before you can make a second.
Read the motion, I'm sorry,
He motioned to accept the budget as presented.
as presented, and we have a second.
He did.
So we have a second, so then there would need to be a vote before, unless Mr. Heinrich pulls his motion, totally up to him, before a second motion can be made or considered.
Well, okay, I'm just going to express myself one more time about this. I am not so much pro or con the project and the amount of money. What bothers me is what we had in our minutes, and then it wasn't put in here, and we voted for it. And it was arbitrarily, with good intention, I'm sure, deleted without us being able to discuss it. And also, we have some members missing, which troubles me. And I know nobody wants to have another meeting, but what can we do to get these people here to discuss this? Because it could easily be 2-2, and then we don't have anybody to break our tie.
But we look at last month, we had everybody except, I believe, Ricky here, and everybody, like, it passed, and it was added, as Cheryl said, like,
Like I said, there's a lot going on behind these doors right now, and I think it just was one of those things. It wasn't malicious or intentional.
and we're not saying it is, we just
No,
want to make
but
sure that it
it's-
gets added per our last meeting, because it kind of,
I'm not worried about trying to move forward with the project, and I understand
Yeah.
what you're saying. So if you guys want to amend it,
I guess based off of past experiences is what Cheryl and I are saying. It's been very difficult to amend things after the fact, and we want to make sure that based off of what we discussed in the previous meeting, we're actually going through with it, and somebody just not going in there and be like, well, based off how I feel, we're just going to not put that in there, because that just took away what the board discussed, and, you know, we
Yeah.
had a good meeting over it, and I definitely feel like we shouldn't.
Cheryl,
Okay,
how much was earmarked for the park?
well,
I can't remember.
these minutes don't, for the park or for the skate?
Skate.
See, I don't find that in these minutes. I just said, I just see that it says, the board directed staff to add a line item to the fiscal 2026 budget, not the amount of money.
I don't recall their
If there was
I couldn't
a
remember.
discussion of now, he brought information from a potential provider. So anyway, we need to take.
Well, how can we put it in the budget if we don't know how much?
What, can we take some of this that we got down here in the capital projects? Let's see,
That wouldn't be enough.
could we make another and maybe split some of that out and
'Cause-
earmark it?
But
To start, I mean, what became of the paperwork that you brought last time? Was it handed in to Don
Correct,
and
yeah.
Dolly?
So I know we spoke in detail about the sidewalks, which is why we increased it from, I believe, 50,000 to 200,000. And we went through the pocket park. We went through, you know, line by line in detail. And if we set, I guess, a price, you know, I believe it was 300,000 is what we discussed. And then I believe Donnie said that we could amend that at a later point if it does become like costlier than that.
Well, the engineering for the sidewalk wouldn't cost us $200,000.
Correct, yeah, and so that was including with construction,
Right.
Some
Right.
construction.
yeah.
And my thinking was, with that project, that could be taken over a couple of years, and we just begin going down the highway or whatever we can get permission to do, and how much money we
Right.
earmark for it, and do that much, and then come back the next year and keep it going. That was kind of my thinking about the
On the
sidewalk.
sidewalk, yeah.
Correct.
If
Correct,
we
yeah.
wanted
Because we
to
still have to
take-
buy or get.
split that out and take some of that and begin the engineering for a skate park, fine.
But if my memory serves me correct, it was, I believe, 300,000 that was discussed.
That was the comment that you made at the end of the meeting when Donnie said, how much is that gonna be? And you said, oh, about 300,000.
Correct, yeah. And so there was
There was
a dollar
no
amount.
action, there was no direction given to us that I
Well, there was a-
recall.
And what
direction
became
to
of the
be added
paperwork
to.
that you had? You had a bid or a preliminary
Yes, ma'am.
cost.
And that was all sent, and that was part of the packet that was given to, that was displayed on the TV screens and all that. But you said that there was no motion. There was actually,
No, there was a motion.
yeah, there was a motion, and we just agreed on the minutes for the last month
Well,
to accept it.
do you want to amend your motion, or do you need to?
Yeah,
amend your motion?
I'll just withdraw my motion and we can start all over again.
Okay. So.
So what would be agreeable to break up that line item, or,
What we discussed last month, as I said, I'm pretty sure it was 300,000, and Don agreed that 300,000 was the amount that was talked about.
Yeah.
I think based off our discussion last month, we should honor that since we came to a decision last month.
so you thinking that what we should do is add another 300,000 to this
That-
for another item?
Correct, that's what was discussed and agreed upon last month.
Is that gonna scare our council that we've gone over dollar amount?
I mean, we have 609,000 in reserve. And then
Well,
we're gonna make,
that's before the 213.
correct, and then the revenue for the year is gonna be $354,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that, we have all of our operating costs there too, so
Mhm.
that's not just money laying on the table.
Yeah, I would rather not do 300,000, but to do earmark something less than that, maybe 100 grand to
Well,
get it started.
I don't understand why we agreed upon an amount last month, and then now it's an issue.
Well, it doesn't say that we agreed upon amount. It says that we agreed to put a line item in there, and I don't know what that means, because if we don't have that paperwork and that line item isn't according to, we didn't make a motion to say up to a certain amount. We just said to put a line item in,
Yeah, I just reading it.
without going and listening to the minutes and reviewing it. So I would appeal to you to have us start out with some amount to get it at least rolling, and the engineering and all that.
I'm pretty confident we did talk about that.
Yes, but it's not reflected here, so I can't,
I'm
I'm uncomfortable.
crunching some numbers right now.
Okay,
Hold on.
thank you.
So if we have-
Did the
Okay,
paperwork
so if everything
happen?
transpires the way we say, and we subtract expenditures and the current capital that's in there. I'm so sorry.
He's still crunching numbers.
Hold on, I hit the
Okay.
wrong button. All right. Minus. The way the budget is right now, with the way it sits without the park, and if everything transpires the way it should, it'll leave $316,538
In the money market account?
in the bank. Now, but again, these expenditures aren't all gonna come out at one time.
Mhm.
So as all we're trying to do is figure out a path forward on what we want to do for the city so that we can work on them, so as revenue's coming in, expenses going out. So everything I can see, the money's there if you want to do that.
Is 300,000 equitable amount?
Well,
Sounds pretty good to me, and just like anything, we're gonna try to stretch the dollar as far as
Sure.
we can.
and you never know what concrete is gonna cost. There's a lot of concrete there,
The longer we wait on things, the more expensive
the
it
more
gets.
expensive. Um,
Well, it won't be finished next year anyway,
That's right.
even if we start on it. That's why I say earmark another 100 grand for skateboard park and
Challenge
get
accepted.
it started.
I mean, I don't know, how long did it take for the pickleball court from start to finish? It didn't take very long. How long did it take the basketball court?
Skateboard's got a lot more stuff in it that you gotta
Correct,
form.
yeah, and we've been talking about it for 2 years.
Are those ramps all concrete, or do they make those out of wood?
So the direction I'm trying to go is concrete, that way you don't have to worry about going back and repairing them after 5 or 10 years. With the wood, you have to worry about the weather, you have to worry about the upkeep. With concrete,
Right?
you don't have to worry about anything, it's a one and done.
It doesn't last forever.
It does not know. That's why I want to go with an actual company that does good on the concrete. We don't have to go back and scrape the concrete like we did the basketball courts or the
Okay.
pickleball court.
And tell me if you recall, does this also include investigation of the soil conditions underneath? Because we have this expansive soil here in this part of Texas and all that, so that they're gonna guarantee that this thing is gonna stay and not
Have to
crap
be
up?
engineered, that'd have to
That's,
be
you're gonna
engineered.
have to have an engineered base there, so does that 300,000 include that?
I thought it did.
See, where is, I didn't take my packet home, I didn't save it.
Well, again, you can earmark something for it. We can
Yes,
at least get it started, but I also understand, the concern of it never getting done. So, but all I can say is challenge accepted.
Does Cleburne have a skateboard park at any of their facilities?
They're in the process of building one.
Who?
Cleburne is in the
Cleburne.
process of building one.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of liability do we have for those?
There is no liability, and we discussed this last month as well. There is no liability as long as you put up a
From the city's
sign,
standpoint?
Sign.
correct, yeah.
Have you,
the signage.
how about, have you talked to an attorney about that? See, to make sure?
So I've talked to different cities, because Alvarado's had a skate park for at least 20 years.
Okay.
And I've talked to different cities, and the signage that they put up there with the wording, it releases them of all liability.
Well, okay, so you withdrew your motion. Do you want to give us a new motion, or?
I would change my motion to approve the budget like it is with adding $100,000 for the skateboard park to get it started.
I'll second it.
Okay. We have a motion, a second. All in favor of the motion? Okay. Opposed? Okay, it passes 3-1. And the good thing is, at least we have some money in there and a line item,
Correct, yeah.
so we can
The
get
issue I have
started.
is like, we're not
And
going based off of what
we
we
can
discussed the last meeting.
still get, can still amend our motion too if things move well and there's a good price, and so we can amend our motion, our budget and take it to the council. Okay. All right. I've lost my place here for a minute, Holly.
Number 7.
Okay,
Yes.
yes, so what do I read for that? Did you give it to me here? I'm sorry, this is not my, okay. We're going to have an executive session pursuant to the Texas Open Meetings Act, Chapter 551, Texas Government Code. The board will convene into executive session to seek advice from a city attorney or to discuss an item posted by the following authority: deliberations, 551.072, deliberations about real property, Wallen Ridge, approximately 5 acres owned by the EDC Type B Board. Okay, it is 4:18, and we're going to go into executive session. 4:38, and we are recessed from the executive session. Does anyone have a motion to present?
Holly, do we use the red line on here? Okay.
Okay. Okay, I move that the Keene East DC Type B Board go ahead and pursue the sale of the said property as discussed in closed session.
Is there a second?
Second?
All in favor? Opposed? Okay, carries 3-1. Okay, requests for any future items, agenda items? Do we have any requests today? No? If not, is there a
Ma'am?
motion to adjourn? Oh, sorry.
I just think that we need to make sure that the minutes are correct, because I think we had a little discrepancy with the park. And we just really need to do our due diligence to make sure that it's down in the
Okay,
notes.
okay, thank you. Okay, anything else? Okay, motion. Okay, all in favor? Don't let the door